Just to recap what we have had occur here with the COVID-19 related SBA programs. You can see a number of them here on the screen. The first product that rolled out actually was the economic injury disaster loan, and the EIDL advance that occurred early in 2020. And then that was followed by the Paycheck Protection Program and debt relief. And then we rolled out the Shuttered Venue Operators Grant and the Restaurant Revitalization Fund. So what these programs have all done is try to really impact and benefit the business community that is eligible under each one of these programs to really provide relief from the impact of the reduced revenue as a result of COVID-19. So the economic injury disaster loan is still available. It's an outstanding working capital loan product, but it is a loan and it is repayable. If you have not applied for the economic injury disaster loan, you may do so this year still, if the program runs through the end of this year or until the funds are fully exhausted. The ability, if you apply for the EIDL, you then have the ability to also potentially qualify for the targeted EIDL advance and supplemental EIDL advance. And the targeted EIDL advance is up to $10,000. That is a non-repayable product, so it's more like a grant. The supplemental targeted EIDL advance is an additional $5,000, and that product is applied with in conjunction the targeted EIDL advance. So again, if you did not apply for an economic injury disaster loan last year, you have an opportunity to do that this year and receive up to $15,000 potentially in grant funds. Whether you accept the EIDL loan or not, or whether you're denied the for an economic injury disaster loan. So it's a really good product. And the big thing with the targeted EIDL advance and the supplemental is that you need to be in a low income area as designated by the mapping tool on the SBA website. And you do need to demonstrate at least a 30% revenue reduction from 2020 versus 2019 for an 8 consecutive week period from March 2nd on. And for the supplemental funds, again, all of the same issues, but you need to have demonstrated a 50% revenue reduction. The targeted EIDL advance requires that you have 300 or fewer employees. The supplemental targeted EIDL advance requires that you have less than 10 employees. And you do need to fill out an application for them that does have some additional qualifying information. So, but it's a great product. And I do like to spend a little bit of time talking about that one because that is open to most businesses globally. Then we did the Paycheck Protection Program. We did funding last year. We did funding this year. As part of the Economic Aid Act and the CARES Act from last year, we have what we call the debt relief on SBA 7A, 504, and microloans. That's where payments were actually made on fully dispersed performing loans that had an SBA guarantee, or they were part of the SBA 504 program. So those payments extended 6 months last year and then 2 to 3 months this year, maybe a little bit longer, depending on where your business was actually located. And then we rolled out the Shuttered Venue Operators Grant and the Restaurant Revitalization Fund. The Restaurant Revitalization Fund ceased taking applications on May 24th. The Shuttered Venue Operator Grant is still accepting applications. So please check out those programs on our website. Next slide, please. So let's start on the PPP program. What I really want you to see is the program expired technically on May 31st, 2021, although applications stopped being accepted by all lenders on May 28th. All of the applications that made it in the queue by May 28th, 2021 are still in the process of being acted on by the SBA. So there's still an opportunity to have one of those applications approved by the SBA, so long as the application was submitted by your lender by May 28th. We're trying to get through all of the applications that are pending by the end of this month. In the state of Washington, this year, we had almost $6 billion in PPP first and second draw funds go to businesses in our state. That was represented by slightly over 91,000 loans. And we were the 12th most nationwide and by state in terms of dollars issued under the first and second draw program for this year. You can see the national numbers at almost $278 billion, and there was almost $7 million worth of loans extended. So it was a very strong showing and production for this year to help the small business community. The most interesting thing for this year is that when you're looking at the actual dollar amounts of the loans, most of the loans, 95.4%, were $150,000 and less. And that's really important for the forgiveness side, because all of those loans, 95.4% of the loans issued this year are eligible now to use the 3508S form. So the average loan size for this year was $42,000. So it's really important for us to see that many, many small businesses that were looking at needing loans of $50,000 or less were truly served this year with the products and the way this program was rolled out throughout 2021. Next slide, please. So we're going to go over what you can do to get ready, a few key elements of the PPP loan forgiveness process. We're definitely going to go into a deeper dive on each one of the forgiveness forms. We're going to start with the 3508S, then ramp up to the 3508EZ, and finish with the 3508 form. The $150,000 or less loans all can use that 3508S form. There is a little bit of work that may need to be done by some of you who have loans that are more than $50,000. You may have to use that 3508 form as a worksheet, but we'll cover all of that as I go through this. We'll cover some tax provisions, the safe harbors, what happens if you sold or closed your business during this process, how to work with the lenders, and where to seek assistance if you need one-on-one advising or counseling in terms of assistance on getting these things